This is Full Game Prometheus, the only YouTuber that actually shows full games of all the tips and schemes that he breaks down on this channel. I show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. With that said, I want to go ahead and complete my offensive ebook out of the Titans playbook, and I'm going to provide you with some end zone plays out of the gun trips tight end. This essentially is not a formation that I really use a lot, and I don't necessarily break down end zone plays, but I know that I have to go ahead and throw it into my scheme so I have more confidence when I get into the end zone that I'll be able to go ahead and plug the ball in. Now, if you guys have been watching, and in particular just the most recent Madden Bowl, you'll see that a lot of the guys, a lot of the elite ballers basically use a lot of high pass leading when they get into the end zone. So we're going to go ahead and utilize the high pass lead as a functionality and how we're going to go ahead and make our reads and try to open up wide receivers so we can go ahead and get the ball in the end zone. To use a high pass lead, you're going to basically hold the left bumper or the L1 button as you're throwing the ball to whoever you're going to be throwing the ball to, and it's actually going to get that ball up a little bit higher. Sometimes you're going to do a low pass lead, and there's going to be a situation where you do that. Now I'm going to show you three different plays that I'm going to go ahead and utilize in the end zone in passing situations. One in particular is going to be the tight end in, and one of the reasons why I do like this play is that I've got that little wheel route with the running back. It's a good way to go ahead and get my opponent to really think about that route. Another play we're going to take a look at is going to be the slot swing. This has got a little bubble. It's got a fake bubble screen, and then it's got two slots or slants that I can hit at different levels and really get my opponent to guess. And then I've got an option route with a tight end, which is another way to attack my opponent. And the final play we're going to take a look at is going to be the play action boot shot. This is going to essentially attack the back side of the end zone, and we're just going to wait for our opponent to actually break down from there. So let's go ahead and jump into the first play, and it's going to be the play we'll call out of the huddle majority of the time. It's going to be the tight end in. Now we're going to do random plays in the end zone because most defenders are random. My first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my outside wide receiver number 1, which is going to be Matthews, and put him on a slant route. He's going to be our primary read. He's going to be the person we're going to look at. Now, if Matthews gets followed by his defender, that means that the outside by right should be wide open. If he doesn't get followed, I'm going to go ahead and try to press the ball up to Matthews. If a defender floats across with him, I know I've got Walker on the backside. Now, to mess with my opponent a little bit, I'll take my running back and put him on motion out here. And this is another way I can go and pop my opponent, especially if they're not in the right coverage. I can hit him on the wheel in the back route, but really most of my reads are going to be on the left side. It's all going to be Matthews is going to be on the back side of that. Also, I've got the backside right there with Walker. So let's go ahead and take a look at this in instant replay. All right, so our first progression is going to be this defender right here and seeing if he actually follows. But he doesn't follow, but you can see right here he's shadowing underneath, and he's actually taking away my high pass lead underneath. But because these guys actually are covering each other, I can always go ahead and wait for the tight end to develop on the backside. These defenders just can't cover both of these guys at the same time. They just can't do it. And also, if I would have went ahead and waited a little bit longer, Matthews would have been wide open back here in the back corner. My next progression, if he gets followed by his defender, is going to be this out route right here. But you can see he's actually blanketed by covers. Probably would have got tackled short of the first down or the touchdown. But if I waited for that a little bit more, I'd probably get it. So this is going to be, we're going to do a quick out with the inside wide receiver number 2, and then Matthews is going to do a slant. Go ahead and take my running back and put him on the outside. We're going to high pass lead, and we're going to look for this play right here. So that's going to be the other attack that you're going to do against your opponent. Another thing you got to do is go ahead and take your running back and force your opponent to go ahead and stop him. So what we're going to do is you're going to do a high pass lead. And just go ahead and attack the back corner right there. And see if you got a good running back, he's going to come down with that ball 90% of the time. So this is really designed to go ahead and attack your opponent on the out. You've got this little out route too, that if the opponent's, if your guy starts taking his defenders and floating up, you can go ahead and make that read. So I'm really forcing the ball. My primary goal is going to be Matthews. He's going to be my primary person I'm going to go ahead and put the ball to. But if my opponent, is not paying attention, I'm going to go ahead and try to hit those other areas of the field. So let's go and jump into the next play. Now, next play we're going to take a look at is going to be the slot swing. Now the first audible in this particular formation is going to be the slot swing, and this is really going to be attacking down closer to the goal line. It's one of those particular plays where you really want to focus on your number 3 wide receiver, which is going to be Sharp, and you're just going to do a nice little pie pass lead right there, and hopefully he holds on to the ball as he breaks the plane. Now I'm going against one of the best defenses in the game, and basically you're probably going to, I'm not going to catch a lot of balls because these guys got really good hit stick ability, but what's going to happen is if your opponent starts floating up with their coverages, they're going to have to stop that. Now on the backside you have an option route with the tight end. And it's nice to be able to jump into the option route with an audible, and basically what you're going to do is you're going to do a little pass lead down, and that's really going to drive your opponent crazy. So this is going to be a nice little play that you can actually go ahead and utilize in your scheme. You've got the bubble that actually will get open occasionally, but I recommend not going towards it. Because it just doesn't seem like it can consistently get into the end zone right there. Maybe on a 1-yarder out, you might want to go with the bubble, but for the most part I always find that the bubble does get stopped, and it gets stopped short of it, so it's just kind of a fluky little play, just a play that you want to look at. But this is going to be your primary read right here, is going to be that inside number 3 wide receiver, and Mariota has a tendency to actually sail the balls. He doesn't necessarily go ahead and put them in the right spot. So let's go ahead and jump into the final play, which is going to be the play action boot shot. Alright, so what you can do is you can put your opponent on a little wing route, so you just have another thing that you can attack your opponent off the left-hand side. But you're really going to be looking for basically the back side of the end zone with your number 3 wide receiver, your number 2 wide receiver. They're all going to be getting depth to basically get into the backside of the field. So that's what's really cool about it. But you probably want to try to look at the number 3 wide receiver in those type of situations. So it's just attacking the backside of the field. You know, you could go ahead and do an option route with the running back, just providing you just another quick read, especially against man coverage. That'll actually fall into a little area, and then you've got some defenders that actually have to go down and defend those areas. But like, what I do like about it is that let's see if we can get this ball off. No, well, it came down with Walker, didn't come down with it. But you want to try to make your progressions as quickly as possible with this. And this is just another way to go ahead and attack your opponent up top on the backside like that. So, all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and jump into these plays. I'm just going ahead and providing myself a way to go ahead and attack my opponent. Play action boot shot is probably not going to be the primary plays I'm going to use. I'm probably going to use the tight end in and also slot swing, because those are just got nice little options that I can go ahead and attack my opponent with. But for the most part, you know, it's nice to be able to have something you can go ahead and attack your opponent with in the end zone. Even if you don't always go ahead and convert it, it still gives you some kind of an option or some type of way to go ahead and attack, give you an opportunity to score more points in the end zone. So to my subscribers, I really appreciate the support. I'll go ahead and jump into these when I get inside the 5-yard line. I've got other plays I can attack my opponent with when I get real close to the end zone. But this is when I get inside the 5, inside the 6, I'm going to start attacking them with these games. So once again, thank you for your support. Until next time.